Imi mama, ndinokudai nemoyo wangu wose. Imi mama, ndinokudai nemoyo wangu wose. Imi ya maika, ndokudai nemoyo wangu wose. Imi ya maika, ndokudai nemoyo wangu wose. Imi amai, 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 amai. Imi amai, amai, imi mama.
My name is Batsirai Shasha. I'm an Afro jazz artist. I play the acoustic guitar. I also play mbira. And I also play piano as well, drums here and there. I grew up in Rusape, Chivu, and Harare. I currently stay in Harare, Greendale. So I started singing when I was in primary school. I was in grade 3. It was actually at the assembly point. You know, at school you get to gather at the assembly point for some news. And then the teacher would be asking for a chorus from the school, from anyone in the crowd. So there I was in grade 3, very much scared, very much shy. But then this song just came to me and I felt the need to sing. And I was boiling from inside and I couldn't hold it anymore. Then I just started singing. I actually surprised myself. And everyone joined in and it was fun, scary, fun. And then I got comfortable and it came out very well. Then that's when I actually told myself, you know what, I think I'm going to be a musician. I convinced myself at that young age that I loved music that much. Then I went on to high school, then college. I told my brothers and my mom that I wanted to do music. And everyone was surprised. They were like, are you serious? Do you know the kind of country we are in? What do you want to do with music if you go to university to do music? Do you know how many people get this opportunity and you want to do music? But I had made up my mind that I wanted to do music. By that time I had realized that anything without music was just going to be a waste of time for me. It had to have music in it. So I just wanted to understand the whole story behind music. So that's when I went to MSU, Midland State University, for a bachelor's degree in music business and music technology. Then I also went to College of Music, mostly for practicals. I did my mbira there. I also did guitar there as well. Then I also got my vocal coaching from Prudence Katomeni from Music Crossroads. So right now I'm currently doing jazz. So mostly I get the question, why jazz? Why not the other genres out there? Why are you doing jazz? And for me, I would say I didn't choose jazz music, but jazz kind of chose me because it just resonates with my beliefs in music. As an African, I feel I'm very comfortable with jazz because I relate to the instruments that are African, guitar, mbira, the marimba sounds in music. Although we can modernize, we can uyu. So right now what I'm doing with my kind of jazz is I'm trying to make sure it's distinct, it's very much different and unique to me. And perhaps with time, I'm going to make sure that I give it a name that will stand out, you know, so that it's my kind of music that I'm giving out to the world. My family, I've got such a good family. By the way, I'm the last born. I think I've mentioned that. I grew up in a musical family. My mom, she can sing actually. She can sing. She's got that bass, that tenor, that anchors this sound, you know. Yeah, I've got a sister who can sing. I've got a sister who can act, who actually studied arts. She's got a degree in arts. I've got a brother who can sing. The one who taught me keyboard, he can sing. Yeah, then I also have another sister who can sing. They all kind of have something to do with art, but I just think they didn't pay much attention to it because of what they were required to do more than I did. I kind of zoomed in to the music more than all of them. That's why I'm here. So, but soon I'm actually planning to work on a project where I bring in my siblings and then we're just singing together. You know, I don't know what we come up with, but we're just gonna sing because they've got beautiful voices. They all can write songs. They're equally as good. You know, when it comes to instruments and maybe the knowledge of the music theory and everything, they don't because of interest, but they all have the capacity. But it's all good. Love my family. They are very supportive. They are very loving. They love my music. They're very proud.
My name is Silence. I'm Batsi's brother. He's the last actually in our family. So growing up, he's been very musical. Yeah, we spent quite some time together ever since he was young. He loved music. He had a passion for music. To an extent that when he was about to do his degree, we actually had an argument. Like he said he wanted to take music, but I was like, no. You see, these days you cannot have music as a career. Why can't you find something else to do, and then you then complement it with music? But then I was like, no. I've made my decision. I want to do music. I was like, why do you need to go to school for you to do music? Do you want to go do music so that you can sing? You can just sing because you're talented, and then you can find something else to do. And then, oh, I didn't win on that one because it showed me that he really meant business. He wanted to do music. So everything about him is music. You hear him coming home anytime, he's just singing. He's got a new song every day. He loves what he's doing. So seeing him now where he is with the opportunities that he's got, I'm quite happy. He's pushing his work, and the name is beginning to show up, you know, through the hard work that is being put in place.
Imi mama dinokudai ne moyo wangu wose. Imi mama dinokudai ne moyo wangu wose. Imi amaika dokudai ne moyo wangu wose. Imi amaika dokudai ne moyo wangu wose. Imi amai, amai, amai. Imi amai, amai. Imi mama. Ndimi nyakutumbura, nyakubereka, nyakurera. Ndimi nyakutumbura, nyakubereka, nyakurera. Maindi bereka kumusana, boimba rure rure, kubereka kumusana, kaendo wara. Maindi bereka kumusana, muchimba rure rure rure, kubereka kumusana, kanandorwara. Imi amai, 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 amai. Imi amai, amai. Imi mama. Imi amai, 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 amai. Imi amai, amai. Imi mama. Andikanganwe nyaya zamaindi udza. Andikanganwe nyaya zamaindi udza. Andikanganwe masoko amakandi udza. Andikanganwe mwari makandi udza. Kana ndichinge ndakura ndichakutengerai. Kana ndichinge ndakunda ndokutengerai. aiwa kana ndichinge ndawana ndichakuendesa kana ndichinge ndakura imi amai 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 imi amai amai imi mama.
I get excited when I'm asked about him because it's been a journey. A lot of people ask me, when did he start to sing? And I tell them he was singing since he was born. Perhaps even when we were pregnant, he was singing. Because there's never a time when we thought, oh, he can sing. He's always been singing, basically. So he started singing in school. That's when they discovered, when he was about grade 3. That's when they discovered that he was excited about singing. And then he went to school, secondary school. He was in choirs, at church. He was music director in the present worship. How do I live with a son that sings? First of all, I thought, being a Zimbabwean African parent, I thought school first. Because as you probably aware, is artists, they tend to wander around and go into drugs and all sorts of things. It's all very stigmatized. So I thought if he was going to go into music, let him get the basic education first. So we encouraged him to do his education to the point where he said he was going to do his degree in music. So he went to Midland State University to do his musicology, music business degree. And then when he finished, that's when, first of all, he chose to do music anyway. So when he finished, that's when we said, okay, let's start music. This has been 2 years now. We're in 2020, so we started 2018 to do serious music. But before that, he was always singing in church, in praise and worship. The enthusiasm was there. But let me tell you, as a parent, you get to a point where you got to love music. Otherwise, it becomes a nuisance because he wakes up singing. Sometimes I have to wake up, I hear him sing in his sleep, so I jump out of my bed to shut him up. Now I decided to actually just go to his bedroom, take my mic, my phone, and record whatever he's singing, because that's how sometimes he gets his music. This is a child that writes music every day, and depending on his emotional state, he can write sad songs, happy songs, whatever experience that he's experiencing.
So I've worked with a lot of artists. Firstly, I worked with Mr. Alexio Kawara on a song called Muroora. Then I also worked with my very good sister Diana Samkanke on a song called Chio Chio. I also worked with Ndiye Muroora on a song called Charakadenga. Those are the collaborations that I've managed to do so far. The one that I'm currently about to release, I did with Feli Nandi. That's the collaboration that's imminently going to be out very much soon. Yeah, so currently I'm also working on an album which I want to release before the year ends. The album will be called Pore Pore. It's going to carry my sound to the fullest. It's going to make sure we make people know exactly what we mean by Batsirai Shasha is doing jazz, or he's doing his own kind of jazz. We want to make sure we bring that out in that album. It's going to have 8 tracks, 2 bonus tracks. So you might expect anything, to dance, to cry, to laugh, to anything. It's jazz music.
So from the time he started, this was 2018, it's 2 years now, we sat down and he said, okay, let's do serious music now. So we went out, started to appease our Christian followers and the Christian family and friends. We recorded his first album, which was called First of Many. I actually named it because I knew that there was going to be a lot coming out of him because of the way he writes his music. So we called it First of Many, and it was a gospel music with 8 or 9, don't remember the actual numbers, songs. And we did a very big launch. We called all the pastors and all the church members. We said, there you go, he's singing. From there, we sat down and we said, okay, let's agree. What are we doing? He says, Mom, I want to be called an Afro jazz artist because I want to go and do festivals. And I couldn't do festivals if I call myself a Christian artist. I'll be limiting my gift. So we agreed from the word go that he was going to go and do his Afro jazz artist. That's perhaps his story. The way he writes music, like I said, he gets given any time. He can just be inspired. You can say one word and he says, oh, mom, that word, I want to write a song about it. That you've just said is an unusual word. It's an unusual word. So, or we come across a situation that he gets upset and he comes up with a song. Or he just comes up with a song from his sleep. So when it comes to writing music, it is forte. He writes music and he also is a multi-instrumentalist. The Americans will call it multi-instrumentalist. He loves his acoustic guitar, plays his piano, plays his mbira, plays his drums. And a lot of people ask him about Jethro Shasha. We all know Jethro, the famous drummer. Of course, it's in his bloodline. It's his uncle, Sekuru. So he loves playing most instruments. So that's right. But of course, when he's composing, it's mostly his acoustic guitar. Well, what we managed to do is put together a lot of instruments. He doesn't have an instrument that he lacks. To expose him to all the instruments was helpful. So he could have a feel of everything when he's composing his music. The idea was to make sure he doesn't duplicate anyone's sound. He produces his own sound by making sure he plays most of his instruments. And how did I come into all this? It's out of seeing that I've got a child who's gifted, and the only way that this gift could pay him or make him better was to support it. As you probably know, that music needs a lot of backup. Parental, emotional, financial, material, whatever you call it, it's all needed in music, growing a child into becoming a fully fledged artist. So the first thing was to get instruments and get him a band. So I then, because of my business background, I'm going to go into his business side, which I manage. I'm his manager. And with the Zimbabwean culture, they all find it very funny because they don't really see a mother doing jazz and making sure a child plays and I also dance with him, things like that. So I had to understand how music works, the music business side. Before that, it was the music creation side because it has got so many facets. There's production, there's composing, writing, composing, producing. Then you go into actually doing visuals, which are the videos and sometimes the still pictures, to make sure he goes into the business side of things. Because after all, everything has been said and done, this gift should pay. And if it's not packaged well and marketed well, it could just be frustrating because you put a lot of money and there's no returns.
My love for music started when I was very, very young. I was at a little place in Rusape at school. The school is called Nyawaro Primary School. It's between mountains. It's a very remote area. There I was, we are at the assembly point, there's music time, and then I started singing, and then everything was just flowing out of me naturally like that. Then that's when I realized I can do this for as long as I can. That's when the love for music came. So ever since then I was singing at church, taimba na maamato, riesa tukumba, tichimba masong edu ta church toshuka tova taimba. I didn't have any problems with singing. I would look forward to singing at church, and that was I was in grade 3, grade 4, grade 5, grade 6, grade 6 ndandato ku praise and worship in church. You know, I was leading songs in church, and mostly my hymns zvandainzwa mai vangu vachimba vari kumba ndo zvandaikwanisa kubata, ndo zvandaikwanisa kuimba ndiri kuchikoro. And then I went to high school. Apparently I did my high school in Chivu, at Liebenberg High School. That's when that's where I did my Form 1 and Form 2 as well. Form 1 ndichisvika ku Chivu where I joined the scripture union. I also joined the school choir. Apparently ku choir I was made the choir director there.
But like any investment, there has to be that process of investing for the, like it's like taking a diamond from the rubble and processing it to make sure people then would say, oh, this is a diamond. It's like, oh, this is an artist. You're just not born an artist. You could be born a singer with a beautiful voice. But to become an artist, there's a lot that needs to happen. So we had to get coaches, teach him to get guitar, play his guitar, play his piano. He had a voice coach. Prudence Katomeni actually helped him with his vocals, and he had a lot of people who were helping him to play his instruments. And after that, when he then got a band, we decided to put the band together, and putting a band together is quite a challenge. We then had to ask other people to come into play. So we asked a lot of producers. We also asked one guy who came in to do his stage coaching to make sure the band understands how it is to perform live. Because he had indicated that he wants, and he still wants, to go into festivals. And festival is all live performance. So they had to understand what live performance is. So we then went into that place where we started booking him for live shows.
My Form 3, Form 4, I came to Harare. That's when I did my Form 3 and Form 4. And I did Pamfago Side 3. Form 5 and Form 6, I went back to Chiva again, Kulibenberg. So after Form 6, after my A-levels, then I had to make a choice. And I was doing arts, so I had to make a choice between college, university. Apparently I was going to MSU. Then I realized how much I loved my music, the ones that I was composing, the songs that I was composing. A lot of my friends, my close friends, were like, this is good music, you have to do something about it. And my love for music had grown tremendously. So that's when I told my brothers, my mom, my family, I was like, I'm going to college, MSU. But not a music, not start a music. And they were all shocked. Why do you want to waste money? Why do you want to study music? But then I didn't look at it as a burden for them very much, because I had a scholarship here in Badarachkor. So I was just like, I had to do what I want to do, without feeling like I'm straining anyone. So that's when I told them, like, I want to do music. So of course, music, I didn't have much knowledge about what I wanted to do with music, but I just told myself, if I'm going to do anything in life, I'm not going to do it. So I just said, you know what, I'm just going to do music. Whether I'm just a music teacher, just a yimba, just a I didn't want to ask those questions because I was being pushed by my genuine love for music. So my mom actually realized that I was very serious about it. And then that's when she got interest as well. Music, why am I loving music? So my first semester through college, I taught myself guitar, and then I was learning music at the same time. And I came back home for holidays. That's when actually I found my mom. Vanga to set up studio yangu, tatana producers, so I'm recording, and then that's when my career took off. That's when we started doing music professionally. Then my mom became my manager as well. Up to now, she's my manager, and it's been quite a journey as well.
And I also manage his social media. With the advent of internet, the world has become a village. So if you do not have internet presence, you're missing out on a lot of deals. And you also, for an artist to be called an artist, is the number of followers that he has. Who knows him? So we made sure he has got all the internet platforms, his social media platforms, all on point. They're working. And that requires a lot of taking pictures, a lot of making sure he sings in front of camera, live videos. With the advent of COVID, we had to make sure he goes into live recording and do his live shows for his people to see that he can perform. For us, you'd probably want to ask me how we coped with COVID. For him, it was an advantage, because just before COVID happened, since he's a very good composer, we said, Batsi, there's so much COVID going on the internet. What shall we do? How can we harness this opportunity? He says, Mom, I'm going to write a song. So he sat down, wrote his song, and we ran to the producer, stayed with the producer up to nighttime, put together a song. Within 48 hours, the song was out. Within less than 4 days, there was a video. The guys really worked with us. And that video has been played so many times. The song is called Samatenga. ZBC loves this video. They love it, and they still love it up to today, and it's still being played. It's one of those songs that is put him on the map. It's that ability to envisage a situation, harness it, and put it into your art. That's what he did. So that's his music business side. So we're now looking at growing him into, we've branded him. A lot of people accepted that Batsi can sing gospel, he can sing any kind of music, but he's told people clearly that he's an Afro jazz artist. Don't get confused. But if he gets a song that's telling him to sing Christian sound, he will sing, because he goes to church, and he's a director of our
music videos. This is the thing about music videos, how we do it. Sometimes I find it very hard to go with the generic way of doing things when it comes to music videos, because my music is not really the pop kind of sound whereby you do a song in the studio, then you go out and then you shoot a video. My video can actually come from the stage, and then I can easily translate the message to the people by performance. You know, I perform the song and then you get the meaning behind the song by just watching the performance. No need for acting, no need for changing locations and changing clothes, you know, because once the message is being carried by the instruments and the performance, that human emotion is there, and then it's easy to connect. But then it differs with the kind of song. It depends with the song that you're working with or the song that you're dealing with. Because sometimes you're doing a collaboration with someone, obviously you have to go into the studio, and it's not all the time you're going to have the artist come to your show and then you perform the song. So when you're working with someone on a collaboration, you have to go into the studio. Afterwards you meet somewhere else for pictures, and then you do the video and then you post it. Yeah, you might not necessarily need to have the artist on stage, but for me, I really think at some point in my life, as I grow the music, I'm going to get to a point where we're just shooting the live concerts, and then you just get it. There won't be need to go into the studio anymore. There won't be need to shoot separate videos again that are scripted. Just the performance would be enough, because that's what my art is all about. I think I'm more of a performer than an actor.
Because we're looking at his following is growing. We're encouraging people to like him on his subscribers YouTube, but his Facebook has got more than 15,000 followers. We feel that when he goes round right now, people are recognizing him. We're working on just a matter of time, and we've got so much coming up for his music that we've put together. Different producers, different sound, which is going to be released very soon.
So my first collaboration was with Mr. Alexio Kawara. He's my brother. We are very close. We connected. We managed to connect. That was my first collaboration, which was kind of like my first real thing in the industry. You know, when you're starting, you don't feel it until when you rap with someone who's been around in the industry. You know, I've worked with Alexio Kawara, and people are like, you are with Alexio Kawara. You know, I grew up listening to him. Yeah, literally, and I was enjoying his music. I really like his sound. I really like his music. He's one guy who knows how to direct a message to people. His message is very clear, and we can all relate to what he's singing about. So I really just loved the way he was doing his music in this career. So when I was choosing, when we were looking around, said, "Mom, you know what? I want to work with Alexio Kawara. I think that would be the best." And as easy as it was, he was not even difficult to get hold of. He was a smooth ride working with him. He was very kind. He's a family man. He loves to have fun. He loves his family, and I'm a family guy, so I related to him on that level as well. And he's very smart, very, very smart, quite humorous, creative in the studio. He knows how to record his voice. He knows a lot about music, recording and performance. He can play the mbira. He's quite a good composer as well. So working with him was quite helpful. After that collaboration, after that work, I really felt like, ooh, I think I'm now an artist. You know, when you're getting into an industry that you don't know, you want to have a moment when you're like, so how do I feel that I'm actually an artist, or now that I'm actually doing it? Working with him was like a validation of who I was becoming, of where I was going, because it was quite something. So it was very nice working with him. Yeah.
Yes, but I believe that for you to grow as an artist like Batsirai Shasha, for him to become a well-rounded artist, he needs to synergize and work with others and learn from others. And one of the first things that we did is, when we decided that he was going to be a fully fledged artist, was to seek help. And believe you me, there's so much help out there. There's so many experienced and talented instrumentalists and coaches. So the first port of call that we called for was, we asked Prudence Katomeni to do his vocals. So he had quite a few lessons with Prudence, which helped him to make sure he knows how to do his vocal projection and everything to do with his voice. And we also got help from a young man called Lwazi Tshabangu. I hope I'm pronouncing him right. He will not kill me if I pronounce it wrong. he does stage coaching. So his band went through a whole week of coaching and on performance. He's very well known for coaching people on how to do live performances. He got that. And he also got his lesson from a young man called Trust. Don't remember his surname. But Trust is a teacher. He teaches in one of the private schools keyboard. He's a very good keyboardist. So he did training. And then Timothy taught him the guitar. We got him from School of Music. And then we had some artists who came into play, like Progress. Progress, even up to now, he's still a very close friend of ours as an artist. He used to call Batsi up to be a curtain raiser. Just like I says, Mom, let Batsi come, I've got a show. I want him to come and do curtain raising. And at some point we did a combination twice. We had take him to Chivu, and he never asked for money. And then we also did one in Hatfield. These are big shows, which he knew that he was going to draw a crowd following Progress. But then at the end of it all, he gave the whole show to Batsirai because he knew that Batsirai needed more exposure. So I feel that there's a lot of help if you can only cry for it. You can get it in terms of playing instruments. He was taught by a young man called Wembira, who came from College of Music to play Zimbabwean. And these are people who may not be known, but they're there. So if you're an artist and you need help, you probably discover that there's a multitude of people waiting to help you to become a fully fledged artist.
Brolex, how are you? This is Batsirai Shasha. I guess I've got a quick message for you. I want to thank you very much for the work that we did together, for the work that you did with me. Magandi Batsira, and I'll forever be indebted to you. I mean, it's written in my history books that my first collaboration when I got into the music industry, it was with Mr. Alexio Kawara. So I'm really grateful and I'm really thankful for your help, for your assistance, for your kindness. You were really fun to work with. Magandi Batsira mukanduza ma lyrics, mukanduza ma imbiro antu ma lyrics. Pane verse ripa song ikuti Ndiye Muroora so nonzi ana yangu kutanga kurova pese pandomona achipfura achidovaira. Mr. Alexio, you helped me put together those words and to actually make sure zviri kusounda zvakanaka, and I was quite surprised at how good it sounded. And I remember you muchiti kuna producer, you know what, you know mfano I sound kunge mfana, I said dara, you know, because I was coming from church, so my voice was a bit deep. I mean, so but you made sure kuti we purify and then we get Shakawanda out of the way so that tosarani a very good product. And I'm very, very thankful. It's one of my best projects yet, and I really love it. I will forever be indebted to you. Keep grinding. Tinosangana mu industry moti chito perform tikada ma launch tikadidi tetingori moti chingotaura tidaro. Thank you very much. Peace out.
Well, this is a message for Alexio Kawara. I may not have been very upfront in appreciating you as an artist, but I'm sure the first time we saw you, we told you that we loved your music, we've been following you, we want more of your music. But this message is just to say to you, thank you for opening your door to my son when he started his music career. You believed in him, even though he didn't know what he was doing technically. You held his hand, showed him a producer who produced this song, which is a great thing if you are an established artist. Most established artists don't really have time for starters, like people who are learning the music industry. But he was very ready. He came several times to our office, went with us to his producer. He actually took us to his producer, which we are very grateful of. So this is the message for Alexio. Thank you so much and all the best in your music career. Please keep pushing. There are a lot of young artists who are looking up to you. You cannot afford to slow down. You need to push it harder. I know life is hard out there, but you know, you can do it. You've done it before. So where you are, you're in a better place to make sure you kick the ball into the gate, into the scoring gate, and motivate and inspire the generations to come. There is nobody else out there who does Afrofusion or Afrojazz like yourself. So you are unique. We want you to perpetuate your brand and make sure people are watching. And we are watching. You've got so many followers, and don't let them down. I want to see more of you. Thank you and God bless you.
The song I'm about to do in Ndiye Muroora. Iri kudescribe musikana aroda kuwanikwa kunaka kwakaita runako rwake pachishona pedu ari semusikana angangodiwa namai kuti agoita muroora. Yeah. Anotakura chirongo iye achinyaririra anorereka musoro iye achinyaririra anochikuta chiuno iye zvakanyorovera hana yangu kutanga kurova pese pandomona achipfura achidovaira hana yangu kutanga kurova pese pandomona achipfura achidovaira Ndiye Muroora wamai vangu Ndiye Muroora wekumba kwedu anondibikira yeah zvinondinakira iye anonditira ndiye wamai vangu anondibikira yeah zvinondinakira iye anonditira andiye wamai vangu Ndiye Muroora wamai vangu.
With it, when it comes to collaborations, which is a part that would want to also emphasize, it's very important that the child gets to meet and mingle with other artists so that he learns from them. Also, he gleans followers and publicity from other artists' followers. So when we sat down, the person who welcomed us very fast, we loved his music, Alexio Kawara, the feel of it, and it sort of correlated with Batsirai's sound. So we said, okay, let's get Alexio Kawara to collaborate with. And he was very happy to do that with us. He's the first person who held Batsirai's hand, showed him how to go into a music studio, produce the song, and we actually managed to put it in a video. It's called Muroora Wamai. It's a very nice soundtrack for weddings and all that. It's there on YouTube. And then the second person that we collaborated with was Diana. Diana Samkange, they call her Mangweni. We still love her. We've got a very good relationship with her as a young sister to me in the industry. She said, oh sis, I would want to show you. Told me a few tricks of the trends, a few tips on how to navigate myself in the music industry in Zimbabwe. And we still talk a lot. We still comment on Batsirai's music. We did Chio, which is another song of Batsirai. Diana went all the way. We booked the whole day. We went to shoot a video, which is also on YouTube with her. We then, after Diana, we went into collaboration with Andy, the young Andy. We love Andy's gift. We all know that he's vocally gifted. And he was also very easy to get on. And he came straight to our office and says, come on young man, let's go to the studio. And we produced a song called Chalakadenga, which is quite an up-tempo pop-like sound, which a lot of people like. They always comment that we love the song that he did with Andy. He also came to the studios. We went to do the videos with that. We want to do more with artists because you cannot be an entity. You can't be an island. No man is an island. Together, you actually synergize, you grow, you share ideas. We're all gifted in different ways. But when you actually pull together these resources, you become a bigger brand. We want to take the brand, the sound, as you can see that I've mentioned a lot of Afrofusion, Afro-jazz artists, because we feel that we want to protect the Zim sound. We know Mtukudzi is gone, but who is going to take up the legacy? It's the Afrofusion, Afro-jazz artists. These guys, they need to be recognized because they hold our sound together. We cannot be a country with no dress code, with no sound, with no language, with no culture. The culture that is going to emanate from the art is what is going to hold Zimbabwe together. If you look at Bob Marley, Rihanna, and all these artists, they've, Lucky Dube, they all, Yuma Sekela, they hold the name South Africa and Jamaica. Mtukudzi is gone. Who is going to perpetuate the legacy? Who is going to take out the sound to the world and get us identified? Is the artist.
Our culture in Zimbabwe, I actually think that is the most important and it's the most beautiful thing about being African and about being Zimbabwe, being identified with our culture. So we have things that are coming that are messing around with our culture, and terminology messes the whole thing up, the way we address these things, because there's culture, there's tradition, there's what, you don't know what you're really talking about. So for us to know our identity, to know what's important and what's not, because there are people, when they become Christians, then they think culture is no longer part of us. Culture is silly, it's now bad. But then you can't be a human being without a culture. No matter how you believe in God, you've got a culture, because that's where you come from. So and you want to be identified with that, because that's where our pride comes from, being identified with who we are. You see. So we now fail because whatever else we try to incorporate into our culture, we really can't grasp the roots of those other cultures, and then we can't really identify ourselves in those other cultures, and then we don't really want to identify ourselves with the actual culture, like our culture. You understand? So the best thing that I think should be done is to use the platform of these artists, which is a role that I've taken upon myself, to bridge the gap in the music industry. Because right now, in the music industry, I don't want to lie to you, there's a lot of stereotyping that goes around. Once you're an artist, people tend to cage you according to what you're singing about. They tend to translate that and say this is you. Once you start singing about a girl, then they put you into a certain corner. Once you mention God in your sound, then they glorify you, and then they see you as holy and everything. You see?
Somebody want to see you. You ready to go? Mama wait. Want to see you Ndiye come Sambo. Sambo, want to see you Ndiye come Sambo. Ndiye kande. Sambo, want to see you Ndiye come Sambo.
What I try to do is to make sure if I'm composing a song or if I'm recording a song, whether digitally, I always try to tell the producers, please, I need an instrument that's very ethnic. Please, can you bring in the acoustic guitar? No matter how digital the song is, just try by all means to make sure there's percussion in there. If you can put if you can put marimba in there, just try to make sure that sound is preserved, because we don't want to let go of that sound. Because in as much as we might try to sound like other people, we won't sound better than them doing their own thing. If I want to listen to an English song right now, I won't go for a Zimbabwean artist. I'm not saying Zimbabwean artists can't sing English songs, but if I want the best of an English song, I'd go to the English people. They know better. But if they want to know about us, they would never try to do it. They would never try to do Shona the way we do. They will never try to play marimba the way we do. They will never try to play mbira the way we do. So they come to us. So it's us going to them with what we already have. Us going to them with us. That's why Mr. Oliver Mtukudzi, if you look at him, he never changed his sound, but they accepted him with that sound. He was identified and they appreciated that. Because once it's good, once the arrangement is good, once the identity is there, they connect. The language is pure. we Africans, we have to embrace the ethnic sounds that we have. Acoustic guitar. It's a sound that is very much unique. When you hear an acoustic guitar, something jumps in you. You know, people love the acoustic guitar. I've seen it. People love the guitar in general. When they hear that acoustic sound, it puts the music on a different vibe altogether. And then when you're playing the strings, whether you're strumming them or you're picking those strings, there's this emotion that comes with it. For me, the acoustic guitar is like an extended arm. When I'm playing it, it becomes part of my body. And then I'm just channeling all the emotion that I want into those strings, and then I'm just directly putting them out there. Put my voice on top of it, we put it out there, the magic happens. That's the acoustic guitar. It's very beautiful. Then the same goes for the mbira. Whenever you hear songs starting and then there's a mbira in there, there's something that happens into your mind. There's something that comes back into your mind. There's something that jumps in you. Like, now that's us. No matter how much we can celebrate all the other genres of music, all the other kinds of music, because they are equally good, it's good. But in as much as we celebrate other sounds out there, English sounds, the guitars, the rock and rolls, the dance halls, the what. But if you're an African person, if you are Zimbabwean and there's a mbira song playing, you actually feel this joy in you to say, you know what, I can identify myself with the sound. I think this is me. You can't ignore that. So that's the unique part of our mbira sounds.
We are very aware that music is the product that we're going to be making sure people buy so that they can support their gift. And the only way you can support a gift is to make sure you buy the product and enjoy it, whilst you also help him grow. So what we've done is we have made sure the music is in most platforms. What we are aware of is the diaspora market. These people are people who are so much rooted into home music. They've got the deeper connection with home. You only experience that when you leave the country, that home is best. And whatever that smells and looks and sound like home, you quickly connect. That's why we want to make sure this sound is perpetuated. And so we've put it on all platforms, on iTunes. We actually registered on TuneCo. TuneCo is a bigger platform where you find Spotify, iTunes, Deezer, and of course SoundCloud is free. You can also find some free music on there. And there's also a special app which we put on we've managed to put all the Christian songs on there for the Christian community. It's called God Sent, as in SENT, God Sent, like Chipfumo. It's on there. You can buy it using EcoCash or RTGS, Christian music, because Batsirai has got his own Christian following. It's quite big because he goes into a lot of churches singing. So we don't want to deprive that community. So you can find, if you're in diaspora, buy on iTunes, on Deezer, Spotify, and also locally we also have Oyos Music, which is the local place where you can buy, and he's also on Buddy Beats. We've registered that. So his music, we are uploading it slowly, but making sure it's going to be all on platform. His music is not bubblegum, so we know that it's going to be continuously being bought as it infiltrates and penetrates into the community, different countries, different places. So it's going to be there. If anyone is not seeing what they are hearing right now, it's most likely because Batsirai does a lot of live shows, and some of the music that he puts on live shows is not yet gone through the correct process of production. It's live music, and his live music is not electric. It takes time because most of the stuff is recorded live. His guitar is live, his drum is live, his acoustic guitar is live, his everything. So that takes a while to capture that sound and then put it into actual music. So you will probably find it circulating on a video, but it's not yet on any platform to be bought as an audio. But you shouldn't lose hope, because we want to give you the best quality in terms of his music production. So we're working with different producers. We've got different capacities to make sure we produce good sound which can be accepted internationally.
pamusoro pegomo, pamusoro pegomo, pamusoro pegomo, pamusoro pegomo, ndipo patakasangana iwe neni, patakasangana ufunge, pamusoro pegomo, pamusoro pegomo, panoerera uchine mukaka, panoerera uchine mukaka, mwewe rudoma pako pakapera kare kare, wakandisiya ndega mudiwa. Rudoma pako zvakapera kare kare, wakandisiya ndega mudiwa. Dzangova hope mudiwa, ndichifunga iwewe, dzangova ndangariro, dzangova hope ndirere, ndichifunga iwewe, dzangova ndangariro. Hanzi mata kadya kare, kadya kare, azvinyaradze mwana, azvinyaradze mwana, azvinyaradze mwana. Pamusoro pegomo.
Looking into the future, I see him as I'm sure he's gonna be one of the best artists that we are going to have in this country if he keeps on, pushing the works like that. I believe him. I don't doubt him. Learning the instruments. Right now, I'm actually looking at learning some instruments from him. Even when back then we used to sing together in church, we used to I sing also myself. We could play music at home. He loved the guitar. I loved the guitar, although I'm not as good as he is on the guitar. I used to teach him to play the keyboards at church and all that. But now I think I have a lot to learn from him. He can play the mbira, I can't. So I'm quite happy, and I think I hope that everything goes according to how he sees them. But I'm sure he is destined for greatness.
Ndoda urarame kwemakore akawanda, ndoda uchengetwe iwe kwemakore akawanda, ndinoda urarame kwemakore akawandisa, ndoda uchengetwe kwemakore akawanda, mwana mwana mwana, uri mwana wangu iwe mwana 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 wangu iwe, uzofambawo nemota, ugotengawo imba iwe, ugoita vana vako nemhuri, ugotengawo mota, ugovakawo imba, ugoita vana vako nemhuri. Chaive chisuo chamai vangu, chaive chisuo chamai vako iwe mwana, iwe mwana, mwana, anzi uri mwana wangu iwe mwana, mwana, uri mwana wangu iwe. Furangaina ben mapati vananga vauye kumba, terera moyo, terera moyo, terera moyo wangu iwe, terera moyo, terera moyo, terera moyo wangu iwe, terera moyo wangu iwe, terera moyo, terera moyo, terera moyo wangu iwe. Shinzo moyo ndipe, anundida ndipe, wandichada ndipe, 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 uona moyo ndipe, wandichada ndipe, wandinoda ndipe, ndipe, ndipe iwe, terera moyo, terera moyo, terera moyo wangu iwe. Murimi ndiwe, shanda nesimba, usamile vamwe iwe.
I'm gonna love you like I'm gonna lose you. I'm gonna hold you like I'm saying goodbye. I'm gonna love you like I'm gonna lose you. Well, I'm gonna hold you like I'm saying goodbye. Love you like I'm gonna lose you. I'm gonna hold you like I'm saying goodbye.
Tapira wataura munzeve wandinyevenutsa iwe chiso chake chakanakisa ndamuona chinyaririra iye mwana mudiwa wangu ndiwe wega achido chemoyo ndiwe wega mudiwa wangu ndiwe wega ndagutsikana newe baby ndagutsikana newe inini ndinoda iwewe ndinoda iwewe inini ndinoda iwewe musikana maziso wako musikana akachena semukaka ndoda iwewe baby nyemwerera ndione nyaririra ndione uri wega baby I love you, baby. I need you, darling. I love you, my baby. Oh, I love you, baby. I need you, darling. I love you, my baby.